Indian career
have that presence,
have that
in,
presence
a foreign
in a foreign
nation
nation.
must
That
be
was a very proud feeling.
yeah.
I think 90% of the people have waited till the airline had to shut operations.
Hmm.
Then only they've gone and joined somewhere else. Otherwise, everybody was waiting for Jet. So Jet Airways was a wonderful company. It was like very well managed,
Hmm.
very well. It was like a family. Jet
How,
was like, I can't imagine anybody working without a salary for a few days. Jet was one company where people were not getting paid for 6 months. Still, people didn't want to leave.
it was that impactful for you
Yes.
that now the company is gone and everything's gone, but the emotion remains.
But yes,
Wow, wow, wow. This truly is like a family, right?
it is.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that, then I decided to go back to Canada.
So you always had a plan B working
Plan B is always.
on.
That's how I think
Yeah.
the pilot should think.
Yeah. Okay.
I always have a plan B, and a backup plan should always be there. I came back, and the vacancies were not that much, and there were a lot of people who were unemployed. We a lot of time today also, if we see a super senior guy, or if we see a loader
Okay.
of a layover, they used to get $230.
That's good enough.
That's a very good money,
Yeah.
and let help somebody else become a better person or a better pilot.
Namaskar and welcome to Golden Epaulettes podcast by pilots for pilots. My name is Ronak, and today we have someone who has flown for the most premier airline of our country, which is Jet Airways, for 14 years of his flying time. He's flown in Canada, started his training over there, been an LTC with Jet, and he currently flies with a leading Indian carrier. We welcome on board Captain Mahesh. Hello, sir.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good.
So over to you. Can you tell us a bit about a story?
Yep. I have started my flying 2002 initially in Canada. Did my CPL from there. I was in Canada for almost 3 years.
3 years it took you to do your CPA?
No, basically in between I came back to India, and but at that time the aviation industry was not in a very good shape. There
Okay.
was a lot of
Which
people.
year was this?
That was 2003. 2000 towards the 2002 end.
Okay.
I came back, and the vacancies were not that much, and there were a lot of people who were unemployed. So when I saw that, then I decided to go back to Canada. Went back there, stayed there for another 2.5 years, came back in 2005.
So you flew in Canada further, got your instructor rating?
No.
Did
I
odd
was,
jobs?
I was doing other jobs.
Okay.
Basically, I was still, my CPL was not issued at that time, so I kept my visas valid with the because my CPL was not issued, so I kept flying also. Did other trainings like multi-engine, multi-IR,
Right.
and other trainings before
Add-ons.
I got my CPLs, add-ons. So I did that. Then in 2005, I have few of my friends who have come back from Canada, and we were in contact. So they told the situations are getting better over here in India. So then I came back, 2005. After coming back, got my CPL issued, and then got a job with Jet Airways.
Jet Airways.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you made use of your recession time, whatever recession you had to face, by going back to Canada
Yes.
and getting your added ratings and working side by.
Yes.
Right. Why did that decision happen? Why did you take that decision, if I may ask?
Basically, going back to Canada first, initially, the job scenario over here was not that good.
Right.
That was the initial, because I came back and then I saw there were some 10 vacancies for Air India, and there were about thousands of people applying for it.
Right. And you were just
So-
equipped to be a pilot. You have no
Yes.
graduation degree or
No,
etc.
nothing,
Okay.
nothing.
And you
So-
didn't want to go the call center route or other
no,
odd jobs?
I don't want to go that. So basically, I decided to go back, and then basic idea was to start the flying career. In initial the thought process was to start a flying career in Canada.
Acha.
So get the ratings done, everything done, and then once your hours are built, then join something in Canada, and then get your flying career started in Canada. But again, in Canada also, it was not that easy. So then 2005, the situations got better.
Mm-hmm.
I've got few of my friends, they came back and they were like, okay, the situations are getting better over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, let me come back.
Right.
When I came back also, at that time also, I had a backup plan that, okay, my visa was still valid. So that if I don't get a job, I can still go back there.
So you always had a plan B working
Plan B is always,
on.
that's how I think
Yeah.
the pilot should think.
Yeah. Okay.
You always have a plan B, and a backup plan should always be there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Okay, so Captain Mahesh, this is after you got yourself into Jet Airways.
Yes.
You entered on narrow bodies.
Yes, initially I entered on 737s
Okay.
in Jet. Then in 2008, towards the end, I got an opportunity to go on the 330s.
Right.
So I've flown 330s from 2008. I've started my training, got released in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 2009 to 2011, I was there on 330s.
So could you tell something about Jet Airways as a company and how it was narrow body flying there and wide body flying there?
So Jet Airways was a wonderful company. I think whatever I am today is all because of Jet. And wonderful environment. It was like a family. Even starting from top bosses to each and every individual down to the loaders also. We a lot of time today also, if we see a super senior guy or if we see a loader, they will come up and they will say hello, and we meet like we are a family. So Jet Airways was a wonderful company. It was like very well managed, very well. It was like a family for us, for all of us.
And I think hardly people in aviation can say that about a company.
Yes.
That it was like a family.
Yes.
I mean, I think I've heard Virgin employees say that about that, but
Yes.
also Jet Airways.
Yeah.
So
Jet was like, I can't imagine anybody working without a salary for a few days. Jet was one company where people were not getting paid for 6 months. Still, people didn't want to leave.
When in the end it was facing trouble.
In the end, when it was facing trouble. And towards the end, even after Jet shutdown, there were people who have waited for almost a year after the shutdown. They were hoping that it'll come back and they can join back Jet Airways.
And they did not pick up
They did
employment
not pick up anywhere else. They were waiting for Jet to come back.
So there was such a huge amount of emotional investment
Yes.
in Jet.
Yes.
Did you wait for 6 months? Did you fly without salary in Jet for 6 months?
Yes. I waited for the airline to shut operations, and then only I've joined somewhere else. Otherwise, before also there were like offers from other companies to come and join. But everybody, I think 90% of the people have waited till the airline had to shut operations. Then only they've gone and joined somewhere else. Otherwise, everybody was waiting for Jet.
That was the level of loyalty.
That was the
That
loyalty
was
level.
the level of love they had
Yes.
for the company. Wow. Wow. Well, hypothetically, if Jet were to, rise up again today, would you like to go back flying for them? Just in a
Yes.
heartbeat.
Yes.
Right away, है ना?
Yes.
Okay.
There are a lot of people, I think, again, same thing, the 90% of the people would like to go back to the Jet.
Do some of you still have a reunion of some sort every year?
Yes, every year, like from last 2-3 years, we've been doing this, that on the 5th of May, we have a get-together. From last 2 years, it's been planned in Delhi only, Gurgaon.
Okay.
And we were thinking that depend on the numbers, we do a voting. We have a group where we do a voting and stuff. If we get enough numbers in Mumbai or somewhere else, we are planning that we will do it over there.
Okay. And this is all the previous Jet employees?
All the previous Jet employees, whoever is available on that day, they come. And on 5th of May, we decide a venue and we come, meet each other and have a good time.
It weighs, I won't say it weighs that heavily, but it was that impactful for you?
Yes.
That now the company is gone and everything's gone, but the emotion remains.
But yes.
Wow. This truly is like a family, right?
It is.
Right. So tell me something about the wide body flying in Jet Airways.
Wide body flying in Jet Airways, when I was there, especially 2009 to 2011, means we had a lot of destinations, especially Brussels was a hub for us,
Mm-hmm.
where at a time, Brussels, we used to have 6 aircrafts parked.
Oh.
6 aircrafts, 3 used to come from, we used to fly from Delhi, one from Bombay, and one from Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to go New York, Newark, and Toronto from there.
Oh, okay.
So 6 aircrafts at a time, and again, it used to be a very proud feeling
Mm.
when you used to see that 6 aircrafts of Jet Airways standing in Brussels, and even Brussels Airline most of the time. That time, basically, most of the Brussels Airline used to have most of the narrow bodies. Wide bodies, they didn't have much of wide bodies at that time, and especially not towards the international terminal. So on that terminal, Jet Airways had more presence than the Brussels Airline itself.
Right. And to see an Indian
carrier
have that
have
presence
that
in a
presence
foreign
in a foreign
nation
nation.
must
That
be,
was a very proud feeling.
yeah, I can imagine. I can definitely imagine. That must be really, our attempt or Jet's attempt to take over the skies.
Yes.
So I can imagine. And how about the layovers, and how about the patterns?
Layovers was basically Jet has always given us comfortable layovers, like 24 hours layovers, and the hotels used to be nice. Allowance used to be amazing. I think still the lot of leading airlines, they don't have the amount of money that Jet used to give them as an allowance. At that time, I'm talking 2011 and 2000, Jet shut down in 2019. So the allowance that Jet Airways was giving at that time, and the money, salary-wise also, the money that Jet Airways was giving that time, a lot of airlines have not reached the same level till now.
Right. I won't touch the
After 5
salary
years.
bit, but are you comfortable telling us the allowance you used to get?
Allowance we used to get about, the captain in 2015 used to get $230
A day?
for some 30 hours.
30 hours.
First
okay.
30 hours
Okay.
of a layover, they used to get $230.
That's good enough.
That's a very good money.
Yeah. And first officers?
First officers were somewhere around $170 or something.
That's also good money.
That's a very good money. You
Yes.
can basically forget about just surviving. You can have a good party. You can
Yeah,
enjoy
you
the
can
money.
eat comfortably.
You can eat comfortably. You can go out
Even shop a
wherever. You can
bit.
shop a bit, and
Yeah,
you
that's
can
why the allowance is given to you.
Yes.
That go to a place
Yes.
and enjoy that place.
Enjoy that place.
Instead of just getting fatigued by the whole journey of it. That's like your incentive. That we'll go there, we'll
Yes.
use the allowance, we'll go
Yes.
to this
And
restaurant, we'll go to this shopping center.
There is no basically you can have the best of the foods,
Yeah.
most expensive of the places, and you will still have the allowance. Means you will still save some money from the allowance.
They basically left no stone unturned to take care of their employees,
Yes.
include flying or non-flying.
Yes.
You can speak for flying employees.
Yeah, yeah.
That was Jet Airways for
Yes.
you. I agree. The only
Yes.
I think I've only heard crazy good things about Jet Airways. So that was that. And did you enjoy wide body flying as such?
Yes, amazing. I had flown to, basically, we used to fly to Brussels, from there to New York, Toronto. Then a few days a week, we used to fly from Delhi to London.
And if I ask you to compare, let's say, give me 5 differences between flying a narrow body and flying a wide body. You can make it technical if you want to.
Narrow body flying is more of a, basically, you fly 4 sectors a day, and wide body flying is more relaxed.
Okay, shorter sectors, longer
Shorter
sectors.
Shorter sectors, as in basically, if you're flying, even if you're flying Delhi to Chennai, it's a decent sector, but still you have to do a lot of when you're flying on a narrow body, you are used to doing things at a very faster pace.
Okay, so let's just say one is super dynamic, one is a bit relaxed.
One is a bit relaxed.
Okay, another thing is the speed of doing things is way faster in narrow body
In
flying
narrow body flying.
as compared to wide body flying.
Yes, because in narrow body your sectors are smaller, but means not just Smaller, but basically it's still time-wise
Comparatively.
comparatively
Huh,
smaller.
huh.
And you are flying like you're flying from Delhi to Chandigarh also on few
Right.
days, and on other days you're flying Delhi to Chennai also.
Right.
So your pace is adjusted in such a way that even if you're flying Delhi to Chennai or you're flying Delhi to Chandigarh, your first initial 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet or top of line, whatever you have to do, you charges, matlab, you're doing all your this thing, okay, paperwork, you have to do this, you have to do this
In
calculation.
a very
and
short
in a
time,
very short time.
a lot of things.
So that sets in your system. Whereas in wide body, you plan, okay, like, okay, now I have to relax. And after reaching top of climb, then I'll do this, then I'll do this.
You have a
and
lot more time.
You have a lot more time.
Right. And what would be the third difference in the sense that flying with in a 320 would be two of you,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Two pilots. And in a 330,
It depends on the length of the sector.
length of the
basically.
sector. So either three
Either three or two.
or two.
Two.
Okay.
Basically,
So,
like if it's less than 10 hours of flying time or something, then it'll be two pilots.
whatever FDTL allows.
Whatever FDTL allows.
Okay. So how is it there? Like cockpit differential kya hai between flying 2 and 3?
Cockpit differential, basically when you're flying three specifically, and during night times and all, the you get a control, basically you used to get a rest.
Rest period.
So you can go into the cabin, rest, even if it is for 2 hours, 3 hours. That 2 or 3 hours makes a lot of difference when you're going towards a destination.
Absolutely.
The departure used to be at 3 o'clock at night. So that's a time where everybody gets sleepy and all that. But
WOCL sets in.
WOCL sets in. So at that time, when you get 2 hours of sleep, that's amazing. And then when you go there at your destination, you're a lot more fresh.
Right.
So you
That
can
power
do
nap helps.
That power nap helps. You can go and perform your duties much better
Right.
if you have rested.
And let me ask you, are the bunk beds comfortable?
Bunk beds in jet we never used. Means on 330s we never had a bunk beds.
So you used to
We
rest in
had,
business class seats?
Business class, they used to block one business class seat, and it used to have a curtain
Acha.
for the privacy.
Okay, so those are pretty comfortable
They were
seats.
comfortable, 180-degree live beds, and they were comfortable.
But I don't think bunk beds would be that comfortable, right?
Bunk beds, 777s, we had the bunk beds. So bunk beds for cabin crew were better because they were isolated. Whereas the cockpit crew bunk beds were just outside the cockpit. So anytime you open the door of the cockpit or close the door, and then the noise used to come into the bunk beds of 777s.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think, was it a safety? I think it's a safety measure.
Yeah, because you have to be closer to the cockpit.
Right. And I think they
It's-
can afford to have a cabin crew somewhere far behind, but
Yes.
the pilots have to be...
Pilots have to be closer to the
close to the
cockpit, so in
cockpit.
case of emergency or
Yeah,
something, you can reach faster.
Right. Makes
The cockpit.
sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
ठीक है. And that was about Jet Airways. Anything, any finish? That's I think 3 or 4 differences we got. I think that's enough for our narrow body and wide body. I'm not going to test you here. It's not a test going on, but there are quite a few differences,
Yeah,
no?
wide body and your horizon also, your thinking basically
Broadens.
broadens a lot. Your the experiences when you're flying, we used to fly NATS, North Atlantic, we used to cross, and that gives you a lot of scope, a lot of good experience. You're flying same direction. There are about hundreds of aircraft flying from Europe to US in the morning, and in the evening they're coming back. So, and different experiences, different challenges. You will see an aircraft 1,000 feet below you, and he's going in same direction.
And it's like they say, there's a saying about traveling as such. I don't know
Yeah.
about flying. The more you travel and the more you see the world,
Yes.
the more humble you become.
Yes.
And the more you realize how
More
little of a fragment you
you
are
are in.
as compared to this whole, world. So I think that in your case would be your job allowed you to travel.
Yes.
So that's so much of indirect education, I'd say.
Yes.
है ना? Personality
Yes.
development.
Personality development.
So that did contribute to a lot of what you are today.
100%.
Okay, 100%.
It
Awesome.
makes you much more calmer, you understand the perspective of the other people.
You stop getting irritated on small things. Small
Yes.
things don't matter.
Small
Like
things don't
थोड़ा
matter.
idealism की तरफ हम जाने लगते हैं.
Yes.
Just by travel.
Just by travel, just by seeing other people, how the other countries and how people behave, what's the basically what you see in the other people, and then it changes you a lot.
Right. And I am sure you have something nice to pick up from
From
every
everybody,
culture.
every culture.
And everybody and every culture also.
Yes.
So with Brussels and with America and with everyone, I think we all can pick up one nice thing.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and that,
Definitely.
like, okay, that's lovely. That's lovely. Anything else would you like to add to your journey of the flying? And now you're with a leading carrier on a, 320.
Yes.
And you were also in LTC with Jet.
Yes.
Would you tell us, because we've had very few, you're one of the first LTCs we've had here. So what does an LTC, being an LTC entitle?
Basically, as an LTC, you can do a training for people on the when they come and join.
Okay.
Or there are few sets that, I mean, not the simulator. You do the flying training part on the aircrafts most of the time.
Okay.
So on the aircraft, when like if it's newly first officer is joined, first he'll finish off the simulators and stuff, and then first, I think in Jet it used to be that the first flight or something has to be with a TRI or a trainer, and then you get to the LTCs and they teach you how to do the SOPs, to the procedures,
Okay.
and you mentor them to become comfortable enough to be released to fly with the line captain.
Okay. So another question which is coming to my head is, did you enjoy being in the LTC? Did you enjoy capaciting?
I love
LTC capacity more or command more? Just command, just a line pilot.
Just a line pilot, basically. I would say more of an LTC.
More of an LTC?
Yes, because I like teaching. Basically, I like teaching, giving means I like helping people to become a better pilot, I would say.
Imparting knowledge.
Imparting knowledge.
For sure.
Because somebody, when I was there, somebody helped me to become a better person or a better pilot, whatever I am today. So I want to do my part and help somebody else become a better person or a better pilot.
That's very noble. That's amazing. Well, on that note, let's end this podcast, and we have some more questions to ask you. So we're going to
Sure,
come back to you in a
definitely.
part 2.
Sure.
Well, we're ending this podcast on a very beautiful note that Captain here likes to help people enhance their skills and gain knowledge. So in the second part, you'd see what are his views on mentorship and how has he existed in aviation so far.